Hi, it's Sean, the Fluency Awesomeizer. This is Decoding Multi-Syllabic Words, episode 89. In an action-packed episode today, we're going to look at 4 words, and there's a fluency passage at the end that I challenge you to read out loud without any pause. So let's get started. I want you to read these words right out loud. What's this first word? How about this? The third word. And finally, all right, were any of those tricky to read? Did you need more time? And keep watching. I'm going to review those words, show you some strategies you might want to recall next time you get stuck on those or words like them. First, a reminder of the fable, The Tortoise and the Hare, and the moral, slow and steady wins the race, which is great advice when you do get stuck on big unfamiliar words like this one. Think of these words as races. There is a finish line. And if you read like the hare, you might want to get to that finish line first. You'll zip through a big word like this. That's where mistakes can easily happen. But if you read like the tortoise, take it slow and steady when you come to these words. That patience is definitely going to improve your ability to decode them. Keep that in mind. Let's practice. All right, big word like this, I would advise you start breaking it up at the finish line. All right, it's very tricky ending here. You need to know when you see it. This one too. All right now you either know it or you don't. The beginning of the starting line, everyone knows this word starts with X, and the middle syllable has the OI vowel pair. Do you recall that? That says oi, so that's the syllable ploit. This is the word exploitation. It's a really big noun. The root word is exploit, which is a verb. And the origin of that word is actually in Old French, exploiter. Is the word exploiter, meaning to accomplish in Old French. Notice there's an S, not an X. And the OI vowel pair, that's where the OI vowel pair comes from, Old French. And curiously, it says wa, exploiter, kind of fun to say. Came the modern French word exploit. The S is now an X in French, and the wa is still there. But now it's the English word exploit. And the OI in English, somebody a long time ago decided we're going to pronounce that OI oi, exploit. So we've got the verb exploit, we add this root to the end, and we have the noun exploitation. Now you need to know ATION when you see it. It is a Latin root, all right? You see it all the time on small words like nation to bigger words like celebration. And in English, it is not pronounced the way it looks, right? It looks like it should say ation, but it's pronounced ation or ashin, I guess, depending on where you live. It's spelled ATION, right? So you need to know that, especially for spelling. Exploitation. Not to be confused with this word. Again, at the finish line, that's the hard part, I think, in this word. There's shun, that would be ishin. There's position. Yeah, this is the word exposition. It's a noun. You might not be too familiar with that word, but it is a noun. It comes from Latin, expositionem. And the word position in Latin, meaning to put or to place. Makes sense, right? Your position, your place. And the prefix ex in Latin meaning forth. So expositionem means to put forth as if it were an explanation. Blah, blah, blah. Expositionem is a Latin word, blah, blah, blah. And that's where we get the English word exposition. Now, the reason it might not be too familiar is because we're usually using the abbreviated expo when we're talking about this word. Expo, I think you've heard about expo. I think it's a marker too, right? But an exposition, that's an event adults put on in the business world to announce new goods or services. And they go to big spaces like convention centers and they have expos. Exposition. Exposition is a 4-syllable word. The third word I showed you, again, the finish line. Sometimes it's a good idea to start breaking up a word at the finish line because that's where the tricky part is. You recognize this ending? There's explo, that's the middle syllable, plo. The O is after the L in plo. That L moves around a lot, not to be confused with pow. It's plo versus pow. Notice that? So this is the word explosion. That's a noun. The root word of explosion is explode, of course. And the origin of that word is in Latin. Explodere is an old Latin word meaning to drive off by clapping. Go on, get, shoot, shoot. It also means to drive off by booing, boo. It's true. There's another Latin word, explosionem, meaning driving off by clapping, like Get out of here, you rabbit. Shoo, shoo. It's true. Explosion M, therefore, is all about noise. And the SION Latin root carried over to the English word explosion. Kaboom! We all know what an explosion is. Now you need to know this Latin root SION. Kept it in English. It's not pronounced the way it looks. It looks like it should say scion, maybe, but there's 3 ways to pronounce it. First way is shun. Here's the word mission. Mission. Second way to pronounce it is shin. Here's the word session. You might say session, or you might say session, doesn't matter. The third way is jeune. It's the best way to spell that. Jeune. It's a very strange sound. Here's the word vision. You're familiar with it. Vision, and of course it's an explosion as well. Explosion. Kaboom! Last word I showed you. Again, at the finish line is the tricky part of this word, so it's okay to start breaking up a word at the finish line sometimes. Expel, that's pull or pull. The L is after the U here, not to be confused with plu. There's pull, plu, pull, pulse. This is expulsion. Expulsion is a noun. It comes from the verb, it's the root word expel. That's the root word of expulsion. And the origin is expellere, an old Latin word meaning to drive out. Like, get out of here, lady. Like these rabbits are driving out this lady. Get out of here with your chips. There's another Latin word, expulsionem, which is the act of forcing out. Like, get out of here, lady. We're serious. And the SION Latin root of expulsionem carried over to English. Expulsion, that's where we get the expulsion. Boing, out you go. Now, SION, that is a Latin root. Doesn't look the way it's pronounced in English. Looks like it should say scion, maybe, but it's pronounced, just a reminder, shun or shin or jeune. A couple different ways. 3 ways, actually. Expulsion is the way to pronounce expulsion. Expulsion. All right, we're going to wrap up here this fluency passage I've told you. This is a challenge. I want you to hit pause and definitely read this out loud. I'm challenging you to read it out loud without any pause. You ready? Let's go here. Hit pause and read this. All right, that's going to do it for today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook for more decoding videos like this. Tell a friend, a family member, or a teacher about me. They can go to my Facebook page, and there's a photo album at my Facebook page full of reading challenges I've written to help you continue practice decoding those big words and to awesomize your fluency. And of course, go to YouTube too. Hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Come back and see me soon. Bye.